I always knew I was going to be wealthy. On the Run episode, I do not know, numero, whatever. And we are out here in London, United Kingdom, out here in England. We're pulling up in the Ghost right now.
Hey, mate.
How you doing?
Hey, mate.
Lovely car you have here.
Thank you.
Yes, and today we're going to discuss the importance of mentors, personal development, and books. So everybody always asks me, they say, Austin, who's your mentor? And this is a really important question because we always oftentimes talk about how you are the average of whoever you hang out with. And I believe that everybody's a product of not only their environment, but the people they associate themselves the most with and the books that they read. And everybody needs a mentor. People that think they don't need mentors, that's like really either ego or you being naive, because everybody in history that you can think of, all the most successful people in today's day and age, they've had mentors. Everybody in history that's been successful or done something great for humanity has had mentors. So you have to have a mentor. And I wrote this list down the other day about people that have had mentors. And people always ask me, why do I read books? Well, let's check this out. Bill Gates had Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett had Benjamin Graham. Sam Walton, the owner of Walmart, had L.S. Robinson. Mark Zuckerberg, owner of Facebook, had Steve Jobs. We just talked about this in another episode. Jobs had Robert Friedland. Oprah had Mary Duncan. Napoleon Hill had Andrew Carnegie. Thoreau had Emerson. Michael Jordan was coached by Dean Smith, Phil Jackson. Tom Brady had Bill Belichick.
Yes.
Alexander the Great at 15 years old had Aristotle. Pablo Escobar had Grazillo Blanco. Now it's kind of off topic. Some people think that's crazy, but still had a mentor. Plato was mentored by Socrates. So anybody that you're thinking of, they had a mentor. And some people think that there's this common misconception that people always talk about. I think it's one of the most ludicrous things I've ever heard about, that people say, well, everything you need is already inside of you. Well, let's think about this. If you're born, let's say you're an American baby, you're born in America, but let's say right when you're born, let's say at the age of 1 or 2 years old, they take you and move you to Mexico. When you grow up, by the time you're 18 years old, are you going to speak English or will you speak Spanish? You're going to speak Spanish because that's the environment you grew up in, that's the environment you live in. And I really believe that mentors are people that, because a lot of people always ask me, what should I do? What are some things I should do to become successful? What are some things I should do to become wealthy or this, that, the other? But I think more times than not, it's about what not to do. Because smart people, they learn from their mistakes. Geniuses learn from other people's mistakes. And through mentors, you can learn, you can be advised. Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a company in Silicon Valley, I think it's called Y&R, or I'm completely off on this, but there's a company out in Silicon Valley where this company literally looks for up-and-coming entrepreneurs, up-and-coming, companies, and they will angel invest into these companies. Incubators, exactly. Thank you. And what they do is they not only help them fund with money and capital, but they also bring them in, they give them advice, and they mentor them. So I think it's important that you change the word from mentor to coach, because think about it in that way. Any aspect, any athlete has a coach. They need to have a coach. No great athlete could be where they are, win championships, without a coach. And for reading books, I think this is super important because I used to hate reading books, I'll be honest. I didn't graduate high school. My blood alcohol was higher than my GPA. I was not very smart. But for me, it was like I needed to learn the aspect of personal development. So when I got introduced to the industry of which I'm in, it was more so not understanding that I needed to be intelligent, I needed to be smart, but it was understanding that the illiterate people of the 21st century are not those who cannot read or write, it's those who cannot learn, unlearn, and then relearn again. So I needed to deprogram myself of all the bullshit I was taught growing up. So I needed a coach, I needed a mentor. And what I would tell people is there's never gonna be one mentor that you'll have. There's always gonna be multiple people in your life, multiple mentors. You can never learn everything from just one person. It's not gonna happen. You need multiple mentors. So for books, for example, I found a crazy statistic done in America. They did this study and it showed that the average American reads less than one book a year. Less than one book in a year. but the average CEO, the average millionaire, reads more than 2 books a month. The average American spends more than 3 hours a day watching TV. They are watching television, letting somebody tell their vision. Make sense? So what I realized is, instead of making other people more successful, instead of making other people more famous, wealthier, make them more money, I was gonna dictate my success by focusing on people that had the results that I wanted. See, one of the most important things about success is you need to find somebody already successful. A lot of my broke friends, a lot of my family, and I love my family, I love my friends, but they didn't have the results that I wanted. And one thing my mentor told me, he said, a broke person's opinion is the most expensive commodity that you can own in this economy. If you accept someone's opinion, you better be willing to accept their lifestyle. And only listen to the people with the results. Do they have the kind of car that you want, the kind of house that you want, the kind of lifestyle you want, attitude, health, wealth, abundance? Do they have the kind of bank account that you desire? You know, Uncle Bob making 50 grand a year working at the bank cannot teach you how to become a millionaire. Even though he may have your best interest at heart, he cannot physically, tangibly teach you how to achieve something that he has not had. See, look, most people in life are like travel agents. They're trying to show you where to go, but they've never been there. That's what most people do. They try to teach you where to go, but they've never been there. So listen to those with results. Another thing, one thing that I do is I try to study people that are 10 times more successful than where I want to be. So for example, for those of you watching the video, if you want to be a millionaire, a 6-figure earner, let's say you want to go make $100,000 per year. Well, don't listen to somebody making $100,000 a year, because most likely you'll fall 10 times short of their success. So study somebody making $1 million per year or more. It's the 10X rule. Grant Cardone talks about this, but it's more so about your goals. This correlates to mentorship. Follow somebody 10X. You want to be a millionaire? Then why would you listen to somebody who's only made maybe just 1 million or 6 figures? No, listen to somebody who's made 10X $1 million. So a little rule of thumb. I read a statistic that talked about how if you read for 20 minutes per day, on average, you'll read 2,200 page books per year. And my mentor said, Austin, never trust somebody never trust somebody who has a bigger TV than a library. And that really shifted my paradigm. When I walk into people's houses now, I don't look at what kind of car they have, their TV, their jewelry, their kitchen, their master bedroom, their pool, the views. The first thing I look at when I go into somebody's house is their library. I think it was Albert Einstein. He said, the only thing that you need to know is the location of the nearest library. You know what's fascinating? Most motherfuckers in life, if they were giving out free Yeezys downtown, if they were giving out a brand new iPhone 8 downtown, everybody stands in line. People wait around the block at Foot Lockers for a pair of freaking Jordans, but a library card is fucking free. How many of your friends have library cards?
None.
I don't know. Success leaves clues. Mark Zuckerberg, a couple years ago, he said, I started a book club because I realized I wasn't reading enough. Let me ask myself. If Mark Zuckerberg is the youngest billionaire in the world and he says, I'm not reading enough, I think I should read more. I should lower my ego, be more humble, and realize I need to learn more. Warren Buffett says every single day he reads for 6 to 8 hours per day. Mentors will shape your life. The people that you listen to will dictate your success. My mentors. People always ask me, well, Austin, I don't live near mentors. I don't know anybody who's successful or rich. Awesome. Neither did I. A couple years ago, I was homeless, living in my car. My girlfriend was 8 months pregnant. I had no money, no food, no job, no income, no nothing. So what I would do is I would use this thing called a cell phone. It's called a fucking smartphone. Most people don't use their smartphone smartly. And if you don't have a smartphone, you have a dumb phone. Stop being dumb, get a smartphone, right? These little pieces of technology have more computing power than the Oval Office back in the 80s. Think about this. These have more computing power than the first spaceships to the moon. Utilize them. YouTube University. My mentor said, Austin, Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. We've never lived in a day and age where now you can go online, SoundCloud, YouTube, Google, and go learn from other people. Go out there, be resourceful. It's not those who have the resources that are successful, it's those who are the most resourceful. So utilize what you have. Plug in headphones. People used to think I was a weirdo, always walking around all the time and utilizing my headphones. I was always listening to other people in my ear. Guys, your subconscious mind is 30,000 times more powerful than your conscious mind, your subconscious mind. So, how can you utilize that? Every time you're in your car, play audios. Turn your car into a mobile classroom. Every time. I read a statistic that said the average American spends more than 2 full college courses per year in their car. So most people listening to Mariah Carey, Young Thug, Future, Lil Wayne, Drake, they're listening to music making somebody else more successful. How much does Drake pay you to listen to his music? Probably not any money, right? How much does Wolf of Wall Street, how much did Leonardo DiCaprio pay you to go market and talk about his movie? Not much money.
Awesome.
But if you turn it off and start listening to people that have the results you want, guarantee you, you're only one idea away from doubling your income. Guys, once your mind has been expanded by an idea, it'll never go back to its original form. I was reading in Arnold Schwarzenegger's book. He said that he was getting real buff, but he had issues with his calves. He couldn't get his calves big. And he was a little subconscious, or what's the word? A little conscious of it.
Self-aware, same thing.
Yeah,
I get
same thing. But he found this guy in South Africa. His name was Reg Park. He called up Reg. Number one, lack of ego. How coachable are you? How willing to accept change are you? How willing to learn are you? He called somebody up, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the guy who basically invented gyms across the world and made them popular and go viral. He called this guy, Reg Park, and he said, hey, how do you have such big calves? I can't get my calves big, right? He flew the whole way to South Africa to learn. He got to South Africa and he said, Reg, show me what you're doing. What am I doing wrong? Reg jumped up on the weight machine and put 900 pounds on the calf machine. And he only did a couple reps. Right there, a light bulb went off in Arnold Schwarzenegger's head. He said, got it. I need to do less reps of more weight. I'm doing too many reps of lower weight. Right there. Afterwards, Arnold Schwarzenegger said in his book, he said, my calves started to get so big that people thought that I had calf implants. But actually I didn't. It was just that I found a mentor and I applied what he taught me. Guys, knowledge is not power. Most people in my life taught me, Austin, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Bull fucking shit. It's not power. Because to know and not do is to not know at all. Applied knowledge is power. So Arnold applied that knowledge and people started thinking that he had calf implants because his calves got so monstrous and so big, right? So mentors, I can't even explain enough. Books. Not only go out there and find the motivational books, stuff that'll get you hyped up. For example, the book Outliers, amazing book by Malcolm Gladwell. I didn't read the whole book. I read one chapter, the 10,000 hour rule. That's all that I needed. See, I don't read books. I don't have time for that. It'll take me years to read a book. I'm dyslexic. I'll read a page and forget it, right? I master chapters. See, most people, they want to be, professors. They want to be professors. Oh, I read that book. Oh, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Oh, I read that book. Think and Grow Rich. Oh, I read that book. But then you ask them, what was on chapter 3? I don't know. They don't know because they want to be a professional. They want to be a professor. Professors don't get paid. Artists get paid. So what I do is I master chapters. I'm looking for the one idea, the one nugget, the one piece of information I can take from the book and apply to my life to go to the next level. Very simple. Most people want to study and they want to look cool. They want to read a whole book. That's not what I do. Maybe it works for you, maybe it doesn't. But everyone's different. You got to figure out your practical way of learning. Some people are more auditory, more visual, maybe osmosis, whatever it may be. But I think that, are we almost here?
We are. There's a lot of road closures and diversions, so I'll have to turn back.
So we're here. We have to go.
About 5
I wish I
minutes.
could spend more time with you guys, but at the end of the day, find a mentor. And if you can't find an in-person mentor, if you can, you're blessed. If you can't, YouTube, SoundCloud, Google, go buy books. The average library card is free or $5. People spend $5 on a fucking fidget spinner. but they won't spend $5 on a library card. Sam Walton's book, Made in America, one of the wealthiest men ever to live, $167 billion his net worth when he died. He created Walmart, right? And understand, people don't even know his book. It's $5. On his deathbed, he wrote a book about how he became successful, his whole life story. Most people don't have that book. They have a fidget spinner, and they wonder why they're broke. They live paycheck to paycheck. Pretty simple. So that being said, find a mentor, read books, do personal development. It works.
And you can't find someone, hit this man right here.